What's going on, my trainer club? Today we are going to get you ready, prepped for everything that is coming in the week 3 of the Ultra Bonus in Pokemon Go, so you can max out on the Unova Pokemon as well as the Shiny Mewtwo. So welcome to the trainer club. Here we go. Welcome back, everybody, and I am super excited about this week. Let me know in the comments below. Are you most excited about the Shiny Mewtwo, the Unova Pokemon, or the Shiny Regional Hatches? Because there is a lot going on this week. This is like the grand finale of the Ultra Bonus 2019 that I can't wait to help you guys decipher and make sure you guys are focusing on the absolute best things that you can be this week, because some things that are new are going to be urgent and feel like you need to do them. However, we want to make sure we capitalize on the things that are going to be scarce once this week runs out. So let's get right into it right now, and we will help you max out. So let's do this. The grand finale we are going to go over to make sure you know everything that's going on for this event still, because some is overlapping from the last week. I know a lot of people were kind of concerned, like, oh, when do the Kanto Shiny Regionals go out? I think it's like today. No, we have another week of the Shiny Kanto region. So it's literally going for 1 week until September 23rd at the correlating time zone that it did for you, which is 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right? That is when we are going to then switch over to not having an event anymore. So make sure to max out as much as you can, play as much as you can, because after the Ultra Bonus, we are gonna start calming down just a little bit, I think, before they start pumping some other events, probably for Halloween, maybe one before that, but I don't know for sure. So let's just make sure that you max out right now. We still have the half incubators, right? We have the Unova Pokemon that are being released. We also have new Innova Pokemon in eggs, which we're gonna have a complete guide coming out tomorrow. And we have the Shiny Regionals still in there. And then the obvious, most important, we have the Shiny Mewtwo with the Psystrike and Psystrike move got boosted, which means that is the #1 focus of this week. Like I said, we had in the first week, we were focusing on the Shinies. In the second week, we are focusing on the hatching. In the third week, the main focus is going to be 2 things. #1, if you still need to hatch some Shiny Regionals, you want to do that. #2, the Mewtwo. So we're going to get into my top tips to help you max out right now. Starting with tip #1, we have, obviously, like I just talked about, the Shiny Mewtwo. Shiny Mewtwo with Psystrike is going to be absolutely amazing. It's definitely something that you have to raid for, raid in high frequency, because after this scenario, I just can't foresee when they will release Mewtwo again, right? And especially since this is the first time he's ever being shiny, there is no better time than to go as hard as you possibly can on raids, step a little bit outside of your comfort zone to stack up on as many of them as you can. So if you want to see my complete counter guide to help you break down what counters you need to use, what the full 100% IV is for, definitely check it out up here. But I'm just gonna give you a quick little scenario and overview to make sure that you have it. So Mewtwo is Psychic, he's boosted in the wind. Dark, Ghost, and Bug are going to be his weaknesses. The 100% IV's level 20 is going to be 2387, and then at level 25, boosted in the windy conditions, we are looking at 2984. And we obviously have the Shiny variant. So what's the main tips that we're going to do here, right? For the Mewtwo, you absolutely must raid a lot. However, I would suggest taking a trip away from the town that you're in, maybe to a downtown area. So I'm in Naperville right now. Tomorrow, I'm gonna be doing a downtown Chicago raid, which you guys are definitely gonna see, because I think we're gonna shoot for about 70 raids again to see how many Shiny Mewtwo we can get, which is gonna be insane. I love it. I'll post that up here as soon as it's done. When I get it from out there and I come back to here, that's over 10 kilometers, which means I'm gonna get 2 candies. So that's what I'm talking about here. It would be in your best interest to at least know people that are raiding in different areas. If you're going to Montreal, a great time to max out on raiding for Mewtwo's, because you can then bring them back to your current area if you don't live in the Montreal area or live over 100 kilometers in Canada, and trade them for 3 candy, because you want to max out on #1, the Mewtwo candy. The Psystrike looks absolutely amazing since it's been boosted. How much buff did the Mewtwo actually get with the Psystrike move? So before this, the Rayquaza was the best generalist. And when I say generalist, I mean, if you were to just pick one Pokemon overall that's gonna do the maximum amount of DPS, TDO, and DPS times TDO, it was going to be the Rayquaza, technically, right? And why I say technically, because technically, when I look at the charts, it looks like Metagross, but according to some info, it was Rayquaza. However, the Mewtwo just took over that top spot with the buff to the Psystrike moveset. Rayquaza has an attack stat of 284 with the Dragon Tail and the Outrage combination at 1860 for the DPS. However, the Mewtwo has an attack stat of 300. It goes over 4,000. What does that mean for the Psystrike? The Psystrike is now buffed to a 92 bar special that takes the Mewtwo's DPS to a 21, making it the best generalist in the game. And everybody wants to know how does that compare to the Shadow Ball Mewtwo? Because that previously was the best one. So the Mewtwo with Side Strike is going to do 108 DMG in 2.3 seconds compared to the Shadow Ball, which does 100 DMG in a little bit longer of 3 seconds. So the Side Strike buff is definitely made a huge improvement. If you guys want to check out my video that goes over, is it worth powering up your Mewtwo the best of the best, you definitely want to check that out. So this is amazing for us. The Mewtwo has officially been confirmed with the Shiny and the Side Strike to be the #1 thing that you are focusing on in Pokemon Go. And it's Mewtwo, right? So if you can save some to get Luckies for the Shinies to re-roll, or if you get some good ones to power up, like that is the absolute best scenario that you could do for these Mewtwo's. So what counters do we use? Like I said, full counter guide, that's where you want to be, but I'm going to give you 3. #1, Giratina Origin Form with the Shadow Claw Shadow Ball. #2, we're looking at the Mewtwo with the Psycho Cut Shadow Ball, which is a legacy moveset. It must have the legacy moveset in order for it to be effective, because Psychic on Psychic does not do it. It has to be the Ghost moveset. #3, what we are looking at, the Tyranitar. Bite Crunch on the Tyranitar. Gengar is going to be legacy moves, Lick from the Raid Day, or Shadow Claw, which was an older move, and Shadow Ball. So those are the counters, but definitely check out the full counter guide because it's going to help you out a ton. So moving on to tip #2. For tip #2, we are going to look at, I know a lot of you guys are going to think I'm going to say Unova Pokemon. However, we will get to that, but I want to make sure you guys do not overstep the Shiny Regionals in the eggs, because the Unova Pokemon will be here after this event. Maybe not quite as prevalent as some of the Shinies that are going to be boosted right now, but we'll get that to in a second. These Shiny Regionals will not be available unless you are in their region after this event. They will not continue to be, more than likely, I could be wrong, but after the other event, they took them out. After this event, they're probably going to take them out and leave the Alolans and the babies in the 7-kilometer eggs. So what does that leave for you? You have to max out on the regional 7-kilometer eggs if you're looking to get these Shinies, or you're looking to get one of them or get a couple of them or more of them to be able to hatch them or trade them or get lucky trades from them or whatever that is for you. Because after this, like I said, if you're in the United States, you will not be seeing a Farfetch'd unless they do it for like a Christmas event or something like that, like they did for Thanksgiving, or a Kangaskhan or anything like that, unless they decide to globally release them, which I don't really foresee them doing that, right? Like I just don't see that. That just doesn't seem like something they would do. So focus on your 7-kilometer eggs. And I know you guys thought I was going to be talking about Unova Pokemon, but we have 1 more week for the 7-kilometer eggs. So don't lose sight of this, because we're going to go over in a second and tomorrow in the full Unova guide that there are going to be some pretty sweet Unova Pokemon in the eggs, but they're going to be there after this event. These guys will not be there after the event. So we want to make sure that we are here right now, staying present and focused on what is the most highest priority for the rarest stuff. And I know a lot of you guys may be burned out on the 7-kilometer eggs, which is totally cool. You don't have to listen to this or do this, but if you're looking for them, any of those shiny 4, this would be the best place to do it, because the 7-kilometer eggs will not have them after that. So Pokemon Go just tweeted that we are able to potentially get 2 eggs for a gift when you are gifting and opening. So make sure to keep track of your eggs as you're opening, and don't just go for 9, because now for the last week of the event, we can potentially get 2 eggs. So now we're gonna move on to tip #3. Tip #3 is gonna be the Unova Pokemon, but in specific, I'm going to recommend, if you were to go out of your way for something, you are gonna go after the Patrat, the Lillipup, and the Clink. And even though the Clink, I don't know if it's in the wild for sure, but if it is, definitely click on those as much as possible. But I do know they announced it in the raids. However, I would not suggest raiding for a Clink. Keep the raids focused on the Mewtwo's, right? Like that is the #1 priority. But these guys are gonna be shiny potentials, and we can get them, and they're probably gonna be in boosted quantities right now, as we've seen from the Sentret from the week 1. It's amazing that we're getting shinies right off the bat into Gen 5. It's a pretty cool way to kick it off. There's also going to be some different Unova Pokemon that are going to be in eggs. But like I said, focus on the 7-kilometer eggs if that's your priority, if you want some of those shinies. If it's not, we're gonna move on to my tip #4. We're gonna check out some of those other Pokemon that are gonna help you out. So tip #4 is gonna be focused on the Unova Pokemon. So we have the Gen 5 starters, which is gonna be Oshawott, Tepig, and Snivy. So I would definitely focus on catching those guys as much as possible. Make sure to then trade those guys as much as possible. Start stacking up on your candy now. Pine up them as much as you can, because you want to start stocking up. In specific, I would focus more on the Oshawott and the Tepig, However, Snivy will probably be out there for quite a few people, especially in the Sunny Boost for the other Unova Pokemon, such as the ones that I just mentioned, like the Patrat and the Lillipup. They are basically going to be everywhere. So I don't necessarily think you need to go gung-ho pineapping these guys. You can if you want, but that is not necessary, right? They're gonna be everywhere. It's just gonna be super hyped right now. Stay focused on just catching a lot of those guys, pineapping the ones that matter. The other things that you may wanna look for is like a Drillbur. If a dino happens to spawn wild, that's definitely something you're gonna wanna check out, because the dino is gonna be in the 10-kilometer eggs, as well as Litwick, and both the Chandelure as well as the Hydreigon, which are the evolutions, are pretty solid Pokemon, especially for the first wave. So it's definitely something you guys want to look out for. And thank you to Rachel for pointing out that she did see a wild Snivy. So thank you, Rachel, my Discord. I appreciate you. Thank you for being out here and helping me with some recon missions to make sure you guys get the best information. As far as the eggs, if you guys are totally sick of 7-kilometer eggs and you want to go back, 2-kilometer eggs are gonna hatch 4 Unova Pokemon, which are going to be Pidove, we have the Lillipup, we have the Purloin, and the Patrat. In the 5-kilometer eggs, they are not specifically going to be these Pokemon, but I would assume during this week they are going to be boosted. We have the 3 Gen 5 starters, which is going to be Snivy, Oshawott, and Tepig. We also have the Drillbur, which is one to look out for. We have the Fungus, and we have the Blitzel. And in the 10-kilometer eggs, we have the Ferroseed, Clink, which has a shiny potential. We have the Litwick, which turns into Chandelure, which is definitely something you guys want to check out. We have the Golett and the Dino. Dino is definitely one you want to check out, and the Ferroseed for all you PvPers out there. Probably going to be better to get it and then trade it. It seems like it's going to be a quite unique PvP heavy Pokemon, so definitely another one to look out for. And then finishing up with my tip number 5 is just going to be well-rounded, guys. Make sure to be thorough, make sure to be out there playing as much as possible. Definitely raid your face off. It's something that you want to do. Trust me, it's going to be worth it. Stack up on as many of these Mewtwo's as you possibly can. I wouldn't transfer too many of them. Look out for the 100% IVs and the high IV ones. Definitely something you're going to want. And we have some other Unova Pokemon that are going to be regional. So if you're coming over to Montreal and you haven't left yet and you have the ability to catch some of these regionals, they're going to be very valuable because they're brand new. Pansage is going to be in the Asia Pacific. Pansear is going to be in the Middle East, Africa. Panpour is going to be in the Americas and Greenland. Heatmore is going to be in the Western Hemisphere, and Durant is going to be in the Eastern Hemisphere. So make sure if those guys are spawning there, catch them, bring them over to the Safari Zone to help you guys max out on trades, to make sure you guys can check those off pretty easily right up front. And you want to just make sure you're focusing on everything that you can with Stardusts from the egg hatches, right? If you're hatching a lot of eggs, make sure to batch hatch and then go and use that. If you guys want to check out the new best strategy to hatch multiple eggs on the star piece, like 18 eggs on one star piece, which is crazy, you can definitely check out my video up here. I think the new strategy that Yan Yan came up with is absolutely amazing. So you can literally hatch one set, open gifts, turn on your adventure sync, and then hatch another set immediately, which is so cool, right? Best thing to do, keep on maxing out with your gifts every single day. Send as many as you can. Open all 20 every single day. Make sure to just get as much Unova Pokemon, find those shiny Unova Pokemon, and be the best trainer that you can be. And wait for tomorrow and check out my full Unova guide that's gonna have everything. I wanted to put it in this video, but that literally would have been like a 25-minute video. And I know I love you guys too, but 25 minutes in one video is kind of like over that teeter mark. So I appreciate you guys, all my likers, commenters, subscribers. Make sure to stay focused on those Mewtwo's, stay focused on the shinies, get those regionals, those regional shinies. Unova Pokemon will still be present after this event, so make sure to keep that in mind. Don't let the hype stray your focus from what is going to be rare post-event. So thank you guys. A special thank you to all my Discord members and my Patreon members. I really appreciate you guys. I'm gonna see you guys out on the next video. Peace. I just want to take a moment and sincerely thank all of my Patreon members, everybody that has taken their subscription to the next level and chosen to support me on this platform. I greatly appreciate you guys. As a growing channel and really trying to grow and improve as much as I possibly can, I really appreciate the extra support. You guys mean the absolute world to me. I cannot wait to connect with you soon, and I appreciate you guys all for being a part of the Trainer Club. I will see you guys out on the next video.